Welcome along then, for the 13th time this year, to the GTI Thursday series by Fragmaster. Welcome to the historic circuit of Blackwood, England, where all of our 45 competitors are anxiously waiting for the first live broadcast of this series. For the third time, we're back in the UK at the crown jewel of club racing, reinvested, renovated and updated to the latest standards of rallycross racing. This is Versatile Blackwood, this is Live for Speed. My name is Toby Bloom, guiding you through tonight's event, and supposedly joining me should have been the one and the only legendary Saphira, but I'm all on my own for the time being, so you have to bear with me. Thank you very much indeed for tuning in tonight. We have another stunning race lined up for tonight, and we're starting with the qualifying session in just a few seconds. I'm just as new to Live for Speed as you might be to this live stream, so I do thank you, as I said, very much for tuning in. I hope you might be able to guide me through today's race and tonight's race, because I'm absolutely new to this game. I have no idea what's happening. I'm only good at doing words, so that's why I'm here. Thank you very much for tuning in, and yeah, we're getting ready for qualifying, are we? 108.6 was the best time in the practice session in the last couple of hours, set by Celerators from Switzerland, followed by 1.1 of a second by Spiky. Yeah, we are in Blackwood for the 13th round of this 2018 season of GTI Thursday series. In these XFG cars, 1.3 litre inline 4-cylinder combustion engine. We are ready for the qualifying session. All set and ready to go. As I said, at some point I might be joined by Saphira throughout the broadcast, and we're really looking forward to the race later on today in just about half an hour from now on. For now we will only see lap times being set. Lap time after lap time after lap time. Strolling through the field right now, on board with Skoda Citigo Power in his white, I don't even know what mark that car is. No idea. A white car. Front wheel drive, all same spec, these cars. Everyone has well, the same material at hand, so it's all up to the driver in this qualifying session here at Blackwood. Ekmek Chibazi sitting at 36.41 in the first sector and ending his lap there, happy with the first sector. As we scroll through the field, Cardle in P10 at the moment in the overall championship. 63 points collected throughout the last 12 rounds, and only 6 shy of Gabriel, who is 9th at the moment. Also setting lap times, and the chat has already told me that the official qualifying session will get underway shortly. Yeah, I have absolutely no idea what to talk about right now. I'm so sorry, because I was supposed to have Saphira or anyone familiar with Live for Speed at hand and guiding me through the game and telling me a bit about these cars, but all I can do is commentate on what I'm seeing, and I'm seeing a couple of cars, 40 in fact, ready to go racing here. Jan D having a drive-through penalty here, it seems, speeding in the pit lane. Of course, we also have, just like in other club racing, a speed limit of 30 miles an hour, or whatever that might be, 25 miles an hour through the pit lane. And Type doesn't bother going through these pits. Into turn 1. We're about to follow him for the lap here. 11 corners around Blackwood. Leaving the main straight now. Turning right, turning left, turning right again on these dirty parts of the track. It's muddy. A little bit of a kink here. Into the long, winding, never-ending turn 4 section. Back on the accelerator. Throwing the car into the right-hand row 5. Leaving the dirt back onto the tarmac. A little bit of a sprint towards turn 6. Onto the grass. Scandi flick it to the left, back to the right. Back onto the dirty path. Now jumping left and right. Turn 7 here. Turn 8 now. Turn 9. Exiting. 10. A little bit of a kink through 11, and then we'll see what time Glow Type was able to manage on this particular lap. It's a 109.65. And with these impressions we skip through the field, born to race fast. Leading the championship at the moment. 167 points collected, 17 ahead of Lucas Rosenbauer, and looking pretty racy indeed here as well. P6 in the practice session. Bouncing over the bumps here in the 82 blue and black car. By his Born to Race team. In fact, that R you see there is Japanese. Means Ma in Japanese. And Born to Race makes use of that special R for the name of their team. Founded in 2005, these guys. Known as MGR and then NBR, Natural Born Racers. And since 2009, Born to Race was the place to be on Live for Speed. And with these impressions, we move on to the big one, to the qualifying session. Welcome along then. We're starting with the qualifying session here in Blackwood. Not long now until the first guys head out. It's 903, 907 in his pink machine, taking to the track first, trying to set a lap time. Race director will call out each driver out onto the circuit, and 9391 is the first man out here at Blackwood. You hear the siren going off. No, that's actually the horn of the car. Not bad. So each and every driver being released by the race director. Type is next up. You can see the track map in the top right hand corner. As we follow Type, move on to Type, following 9397. As we get ready together with him for his quick lap. Heading out onto his lap then, into turn number 1. You see the rear is locking there, that's the handbrake being applied. Bit wide through the first corner. Over the jump, left, right, and left again into the long left hand turn number 4. Over the jump. Glow Type also starting his lap. RJ warming up his tires. Xabalis following 9391. Adebayor leaving the pits. As we get ready for the first split time, it's a 37.09. Not the best of sectors we've seen throughout this day. But 9391 will be the first one to set a lap time here. Honking through the air. Jumping over the bumps. Long right-hand turn. Switching to the left through 10. Back onto the curb on 11. And over the line he comes. For the first time of the qualifying session here at Blackwood. It's a 1 minute 10.6. Not the best time we've seen. Still much way to improve for 9397. But that's all he's got for today's qualifying session. Only one lap allowed. Afterwards it's back to spectator mode. And here comes Type, looking good for the first sector, now crossing the line. Is he able to beat 9397? He is! 1 minute 9.2. Decent lap by Type there. But he doesn't seem to be too happy, judging by what he's posting in the chat. Adebayor starting his lap now from Poland. Really attacking the grass there. Here comes BLB to cross the line. Red Bot. And RJ sets a 109.18. Best time we've seen so far, but there's still way to improve. Xabalis next up. Pole position gets 1 point in the championship, and it's only a 111. Only a 111 that puts him 4th at the moment. Finn UK crossing the line next up. From the MRC team, Finn 4th quickest. Now here comes Adebayor. Sonic Realms Racing. Here comes Adebayor. Over the line he goes. And it's a 109.59. Not the best of laps there for Adebayor. RJ still having the best having set the best lap of this qualifying session. BLB next. Then it's Redbot crossing the line for his flyer. Fast leaving the pits. BLB 1 minute 10.3. Yellow flag is out for Leipinkies, whatever that might be. Soini really attacking here. Really pushing his car up to the limit. Bit wide through 9. 10 and 11. Is Soini on a lap or is he just starting it? I have no idea whatsoever. We'll see when he crosses the line. In the WCL team, Soini sets a 1 minute 10.9. That might have been the time he lost through 9. Really good, and setting his car up through 7 and 8. This flowing section. Zeus takes it a bit better than the car ahead. RJ still leading the way. 109.18 the time to beat. And it's a 1 minute 9.7. Puts him 4th quickest for the time being. Here comes Redbot. We're just scrolling through the cars now. Everybody eager to set a lap time. Here comes Redbot. 109.7. P5. Lightnix. That wasn't his name earlier. Ice saying, or his number plate saying Ice. Redbot saying it's a bad one for me in the chat. Outside of your field of view. And Lightnix next one to cross the line. Here he comes. It's a 108.9 pole position time. Provisionally, of course. But Lightning sets a 1 minute 08.92. Lightning time. Here comes Spiky. getting ready to cross the line next. Spiky, 108.7, even quicker he goes. 0.2 of a second faster than Leibniz. Blistering lap time by Spiky there. Here B2R fast, the leader in the championship right now. 167 points, looking to extend his championship lead, maybe starting with a pole position today. It's a 109.2. It's only 4th quickest for fast. Here comes Celeritas. He's 3rd in the championship for the time being, throwing his car into the final dirt section. And quick succession, 6, 7, 8. Keeping it nice and close to the wall there through turn 9. Up to 11 and 10 and 11, not 11 and 12, we don't have 12 corners here. And Accelerators goes 2nd quickest of all, 108.88. Here comes Reject. Cossi next up. It's all kicking off now. Reject, here he comes over the line. It's a 109.8. That's P10 for him. Jan D starting his lap. Cosi starting his lap. Ascona jamming. Here's Storm really on the attack now. Born to Race. Also Born to Race member. Nice and tidy through 9. Up the hill now. You see it's a club track here. Over the line he comes. Storm with a 109.3. That's only good enough for P7. Spiky still holding the lead. With his lap of 1 minute and 8 seconds and 74 tenths. Jan D next up. Through the final sector here, and Jandy sets a 109.3. We're good in the 109s, but not good enough for Spiky. Jandy up to P8. Here comes Ascona. Violent over the bumps there in the dirt section, not looking too tidy. Here comes Ascona up the hill. As we approach the final part of this session, halfway through the field, Ascona goes to P13. Only for the time being though. Jamin looked quick in practice. Will he be able to challenge Spiky for the provisional pole time? Here he comes, Jamin up the hill. It's a 109.9, not good enough for him. Just Yeeman. Spiky still holding the lead ahead of Accelerators and Leibniz. 110.3 for Yeeman, not good enough on this particular occasion. Cardle. Magchibazi. Getting ready to start his lap now. Meanwhile, Star Alliance warming up their tires. And Teiho Lenny from Finland drifting through 4. And Edwards going out as well. Back online with Cardo. Honking his way up the hill. Here comes Cardle. It's a 110. No, no, I got it all wrong there. 110.01. P15 for Cardle. Agmac Chibalsi the next one. final section. Carl complaining about traffic on his lap, especially in turn number 1. Here we are in turn number 1 with T-Ho Lenny. Keeping an eye on the right hand side of your screen where we have the split standings. 24 drivers have completed a lap time already. Cardle 0.8 of a second away from his fastest time during practice. Lenny back onto the back straight. Back onto the tarmac. And a crash by Salin. Might that influence T-Ho's lap? We don't know yet. Star Alliance has moved up to P11, by the way. Through the final couple of corners comes the Finn. T-Ho Lenny, up the hill he goes, in his light blue and orange and white car. Crosses the line for 1 minute 10.1. Only P18. Next up, Edwards. Riga baby, he says. Or it says on the number plate. Might be from Latvia then. Edwards crosses the line for 109.47, puts him 9th. Here's Salin. Looking quick through 4. Setting up for 5. Neat and tidy line through here. Out onto the tarmac. 35.9 the first split. Now back onto the grass. Throw the car. I said it earlier. Scandi flicked the car. Back onto the dirt section of the track. Over the jump. Over the second and the third jump. Going through turn number 9. Neat and tidy. Keeping it close to the wall. Salin with a decent lap it seems. Now but what does the time say? Left and right. Up the hill. Across the line. Born to race Salin. 108.9. That's P4 for the time being. Only 3/100th of a second slower than Leibnig's. Presley abandons his lap. And was that hit? I don't know, was that hit? It seems like it. Pole position it is then for Spikey with a 1 minute 08.74. Congratulations, Celerators, sharing the front row with him. Starting from P2 in just a couple of minutes. Leibnig's in 3rd, 4th is Salin, RJ, Fast, Type Storm, Jandy and Edwards completing the top 10 for you. I really miss someone by my side. But that was fun. Oh, I guess so at least. I had fun. Now, trying to organize myself, getting ready for the race in just a matter of a few minutes. Give me a second. Back to full screen. That should be working just fine. First time streaming for me, by the way, so it's all new. But that shouldn't hinder me. As we get back to the track, finally being able to switch between the cars as the guys and girls get ready, warm themselves up for the race in just a matter of minutes. Many cars using the time now, many drivers using the time now to familiarize themselves with the conditions. Here at Blackwood again. 50 laps await us. And while we wait for the race to start, we might take a bit of time and talk about how things stand in the driver's standing. I said it earlier. Born to race fast, leading the way with 167 points in total. Ahead of Lukas Rosenbauer, 17 points, trailing by 17 points. And then is all the way Born to Race. Icelarita starting from P2 today, in third at the moment in the driver's standings. Only 3 points shy of Rosenbauer. Storm and Express in 4th and 5th respectively. Leading King and Mishu. Both of them I have not seen today. Gordon Freeman in 8th. Gabriel and Cardo completing the top 10 in the driver's standings. And it's really close looking at the points. 167 at the front, 150, 147, 126, 113. And then it's getting really tight. 82, 78, 74, 69, 63. So it's all up for grabs in this 2018 season of the GTI Thursday series by Fragmaster. Blackwood, of course, a fictional track, as far as I'm concerned with it. But all up to the latest standards of club racing in the UK. Track is getting quite busy. Seems 25 people out there right now. Look at these liveries, I mean, look at that. 4 cars all in one spot at the same time. That's going to be one hell of a race. I can tell you that much. It's always really packed and really contested here in this series. And especially on a rallycross track, because as per usual, rallycross races only take 3 laps, 5 laps depending on the length of the track. Or equipped with a joker lap, usually. And the stress is on usually because today we're doing 50 laps around one rallycross track. That would be fun. Look at these scenes here. 2 wide, partly 3 wide through the final couple of corners. As we prepare ourselves for getting back to racing here at Blackwood. It's a very demanding track, both demanding for the car and the driver at the same time. Driving, of course, you always have to be sharp. You always have to be alert when being on a rallycross track. And then it's putting a lot of stress and strain on the brakes and on the clutches this track. Using plenty of handbrake there, especially into turn 1. Probably the best overtaking spot. As we follow German here into this turn number 1. You might send one down the inside there, and then try to keep your position through turns 2 and 3, and especially in 4. Over the jump, here he comes. He comes. Oh, that's a new one. Comes. So all in all, an extraordinary demanding track. still trying to figure out this game and trying to follow what's happening on the circuit. And you have the countdown in the bottom left corner. We're getting ready to race. 70 more seconds until we are live here in England. "60 seconds. We're just under a minute away from getting ready to race. And I already need a sip of water. I have none here. Oh god, that's going to be a fun one. Seconds. We're 29 drivers today for this race. And we're all ready to start this race here at Blackwood. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the GTI Thursday series by Fragmaster. Welcome to Live for Speed. Welcome to Blackwood, United Kingdom. We have 5 red lights and we are ready to go racing. Spiky from pole position, joined by Cellaritas in second position, and Spiky has a really nice start, really nice getting off the line here, and it's all contested, really close, up towards the first corner. Who's got the nose ahead? It's Spiky ahead of Cellaritas, but Salin takes position number 2, or is he? Down the inside, now turning to the outside, which will once again be the inside for turn number 4. Not an overtaking position. Salin taking P2 off of Cellaritas, and Lightning Keats also trying to play along. It's really close in the mid-pack, but it's Spiky who leads the way from Cellaritas, who has taken back the position from Salin, it seems, now being challenged by the white car, by Leibniz, and RJ also trying to play along there. Spiky leading Cellaritas. Salin close contention with Leibniz as the cars jump over that little kink of the little hill. Let's see if anybody gets into the wall. Seems nice and close for the time being, although Lenny is getting contested by Reject. But it's Spiky who ends the first lap in first position. There's a spinner up ahead. Who might that be? Starlines. No, it's Adebayor. I have no idea whatsoever who that might be. We have a spinner, that's for certain, in the back of the field. Back to Star Alliance, P13, fighting with Cardle, with Tiho, with Kosi. Really close for the time being. It's Spiky who still leads the way from Cellaritas up ahead. Then it's Salin, Leibniz, Keeks. I will always struggle with his name. Leibniz. And RJ under pressure from Tribe and Fast taking the position there. Up into P6. Back to P7, Type and Fast, giving it their all through turn number 9. Up the hill they go. And it's Type leading the way. But for how long will it be? Jan Eke McBuzzy also trying to have a piece of that cake. Type on the outside now. Having Fast for company, Fast outbrakes himself and loses his position to Eke McBuzzy. Little bit of a concentration error there. It's all so close here. fighting for P5 or P6, depends on how you see it. But also down there, that's Star Alliance fighting with Redbot and Lenny. Redbot losing out to Lenny. Back to the fight for P7. Fast and Storm trying to move past Type. And as a matter of fact, we already see it down there. We have one mandatory pit stop throughout this race. Many drivers will take that one in the first part of the race or towards the very end. Only few of them will try to make it towards the halfway point. Here comes the Turk. Pay attention fast. Losing out to Ekmekbashi. Sorry. Meanwhile, Spiky has Celeritas for contention. Up at the front. It's a close fight for the lead. And it's one for the championship. Spiky outside the top 10. Celeritas could really make use of these few extra points. Also 1 point will be awarded for the fastest lap. And the HC, the highest climber throughout the race. Celeritas following Spiky through the second part of that lap. It's really close here up ahead. Stunning battle, but also down here. It's really close between Fast and Akmak Chibashi. Into turn 1 they go. BLB also fighting Jan D off, trying to find an avenue around Jam and up ahead. BLB losing the position to Jan, at least for the time being. Through turn 1 they go, and Jan takes the position. Good job by the driver in the red car there. With the white hood. Now trying to attack the all-yellow car of German up ahead. Positioning himself on the outside of turn 9, not the turn 5, sorry. Not a place where you want to be going into that corner. Back to the front, Akmak Chibashi in a fight with Time and Fast and Storm. This is far from over now. Type defending hard over the curb, cutting the line off of Akmak Chibashi. Across the line they go. Spiky still leading up ahead. But as I say that, he loses the lead. Or did he? In fact, he did. Celeritas taking the lead on lap number 5. Spiky loses out to Celeritas. I'm sorry I haven't seen that one. Lead change on lap number 5 of 50. New leader Celeritas, the Swiss man, taking the position off of that white and black car of Spiky. Salin trailing. As we jump back to Adebayor. Trying to run down Edwards, but under pressure from his fellow Polish compatriot Cardon. Trying to find an avenue down the inside, but Cardle is all over the pool. Getting my nationalities mixed up here. And for the time being, it stays as it is. Edwards leading Adebayor and Cardle. Then it's Star Alliance and Tiho Lenny in 15th position. But most importantly, we have Celeritas leading, still ahead of Spiky. Then it's Salin, Leibniz and RJ in the top 5. Ascona and Gordon Freeman already stopped. Same applies to Jabales and Zeugnismod. And Finn UK. Cozy even pitted twice throughout this race, but he's running down in 32nd. Celeritas finding it really hard to fend off Spiky. Back onto the dirt. Oh, did he hit the wall there? I'm not so sure whether he hit that inside wall there. That might have been a really close call between the two. Back into the pack. Redbot challenging Star Lions for position number 14. T-Ho Lenny for company. This is all happening outside the point, but it's still fun to watch, I guess. Lenny trying to move around the outside. That's a brave move. Redbot fending him off, or does he? For the time being, it seems as if Lenny might have got past the Redbot. Here we come again, and Lenny the Finn has taken position number 15 off of Redbot. Meanwhile, these three guys, Zeugnismod, Xabalis, and Capzion, no idea how to pronounce you, sorry mate, fighting for position 29. All of those have already stopped. This man hasn't. It's Cardle in the frame right now, being challenged still by Adebayor. Incredibly close racing here at Blackwood. And Celeritas leads lap number 9 of 50. 1.12 seconds ahead of Spiky. Spiky also has company from Salin. BLB also involved in a fight with Jammin here. It's revolving around P18 here, or P19 if we only look at BLB. BLB in that black car with the SR on his number plate. Easy to spot. Losing the backhand out of turn number 5. Onto the grass they go. Jammin trying to find a way past BLB. That looked really close. Jammin setting him up nicely. But he's still trailing behind BLB. Celeritas leads Spiky, leads Salin, leads Leibniz and RJ. Meanwhile, Edwards fighting with Cardo. And also at the back it's closed. Zeugnismod trying to find a way around Finn UK and Xabalis. Gordon Freeman, who's actually 8th in the driver standings, down in P37 at the moment. Jammin meanwhile trying to find a way past BLB, and I think he did. Oh no, Jammin was leading, I'm sorry. Jammin was leading ahead of BLB, and it stays the same. BLB pulling out to the right hand side of your screen now, but can't seem to find a way past Jammin for P19. Meanwhile, Spiky managed to close in to Celeritas, but it will still take some time for Spiky to close in. Contesting Storm here. The Dutchman. Always a contender for the top 5, but by the look of things, this season at least seems not good enough for any podiums. And if we look at the times at the bottom, Spiky did indeed close into Celeritas, only 1.0 seconds behind the Swiss driver, who's in fact a real-life karting driver. looking at Cardo. Still a bit behind where he's supposed to be. Usually he's up between P5 and 10, and as I say that, he moves past Cardle. Past Storm, I'm sorry, for position number 10. Good job indeed by the Dutchman. And they spin and they crash. Oh God, where did that come from? Yeah, sorry, I was trying to bring a bit of excitement in there, but they didn't spin ultimately. I'm a bad commentator. I know. We're looking at the fight for position number 5. This is Type challenging RJ. P5 would give you 12 full points in the Drivers' Championship. And RJ pulls into the pits, it seems. RJ, the first man of the leaders to go into the pits, bringing his car to a full stop. And off he goes again. Dropping down off, of course, now. Maybe back to these guys. Zeugnis Mod in the SR team as well, just like BLB is. Fighting against Finn UK. These guys will eventually come up the field as the others start to pit. We still have some 38 laps to go in this race. So still a long way to go for these lads. We're back with the leaders. Spiky challenging Celerators. Hearing the tires scream and squeal. Zeugnis Mod trying to find an avenue around Finn UK. Still, and that might be a mistake by the bridge. Exiting turn number 5. Maybe he is able to send one down the inside or the outside. Here comes Zeugnis Mod. Still too far off, it seems. But as I said, there's still a long, long way to go. Back to the leaders. Egmac Chibashi fighting against Type and Fast. Fast second in the GTI Thursday series last year from Lithuania. Really quick guy. Only 18 years of age. But he's the winner of the all-wheel drive Winter Series 2018 and a top-notch rally driver, and showing his skills again here in the GTI Thursday series. Cardle also involved in a fight with Storm. That's Storm losing a position, losing out to Cardle. Back to P12 it is for Born to Race Storm. Edwards also fighting against Adebayor it is. The two have found their way up through the field. That's the fight for P10. Points are awarded for the top 15 drivers here. Rough over these bumps. Edwards taking a tighter line than Adebayor. Back onto the main straight, over the curb, to the left, to the right. And now we might find one. Into turn number 1. But it doesn't seem like it. Edwards holds back for the time being, also under pressure from Cardle right behind him. It's It's really close all the way throughout the field here. 15 laps down. 15 out of 50. So still a long, long way to go. Looking at those who have already stopped, it's RJ back in P16, the best of those who already went into the pit lane. Is Reject in 18th, here he is, leading ahead of Jamin and 9397. Ascona B has stopped, Star Alliance has made a pit stop, Gordon Freeman did, the man from Russia, Finn UK, Zeugnis Mod, Bison and Kossi, who's been in twice. Meanwhile, our leader was able to extend his lead by only a couple of tenths of a second. It's really close all the way here, and especially with these two guys. Edwards still fighting against Carroll. Carroll having the lead and having the edge over Edwards. But for how long will it stay this way? Onto the grass they go, throwing their car into turn number 6, back onto the dirt, and now through the bumpy part. Turn 7, turn 8, to the right, to the left, and now back to the right, all the way, keeping it nice and tidy and close to the wall through 9, up the hill, turn 10, little bit of a right-hander of turn 11, back onto the main straight, and Cardle sits in P10. That's Gordon Freeman taking the position of Soini. We haven't had him inside all of this race. Losing out to Gordon Freeman, back to P25 it is for Soini, for the WCL team. Meanwhile, Cardle still in a fight with Edwards and, of course, Adebayor. Sending one down the inside is Cardle, but Adebayor fights him off for the time being. Next one is a right-hander. The infamous turn number 5. Cardle gets a decent exit. Gets to the slipstream, off of Adebayor. Is he brave enough? He holds back for the time being, but Cardle is really reeling in the pressure now. Over the bumps, Cardle sideways and Adebayor sideways too, but Adebayor slides out a bit, understeering his way through turn number 9. And now here comes Cardle, side by side, over the line. And it's Cardle who should take the position. Next one is a right-hander. Cardle has the inside line. Who's later on the brakes? It's Cardle. Adebayor outbrakes himself, it seems. Or is he? Or is he? The over and the under. Adebayor takes the position back off of Cardle. Back up to P9. It's for the pole. But the fight is far from over. The 32 car of Cardle still trying to fight back. Find a second way around Adebayor. Once again a decent exit off of 5. Edwards losing out versus Storm in the background. As we switch back to the front, that's Type fighting against Ekebekbashi for position number 5. Here he comes. Type in the green and black car, all over the rear bumper of Ekebekbashi. Surely I'm pronouncing his name wrong, but it's Type who takes the position. Down the inside Type goes and takes the position of Ekebekbashi, but not for long. Ekebekbashi really willing to fight back. It's the duel for 12 points or only for 10. Type on the inside. And Type seems to have the overlap here. Really close racing between these two guys. and Type holds the position. Adebayor, meanwhile, fighting against RJ, who has fought his way back up to P13. Remember, he is already pitted. Adebayor yet to make his pit stop. RJ was one of these guys challenging for the top 5. Now trying to find any avenue around these guys in his way. Side by side he goes with Cardle, pushing the pole off of the ideal line. And Adebayor also loses out to Zeeves behind him. And now in front of him, the car with the red roof and the white hood. And RJ moves up to position number 12. And still has a long way to go. But the drivers ahead of him will also have to make a pit stop. Adebayor opted to go into the pit lane, repairing his car, changing the tires maybe. Down to P18 it is for him. And he's still standing. It's a long stop for Adebayor. Back to P24 already. Not a good pit stop for Adebayor as we move back up to the front, fighting with Fast and Type, and especially XFG. And I'm sorry that this guy always is involved in fights, and I'm always pronouncing his name wrong. XFG, maybe it is. Anyway, trying to find a route down the inside of Type maybe. Into turn 1, on the brakes and on the handbrakes. And Fast indeed loses out, but still holds the outside line, which turns to the inside for turn number 4. Now, all he has to do is keep his car in the position it is in right now. Over the jump, into turn number 4, side by side, drifting through turn 4. And XFG is pushed off the ideal line. Fast takes back P number 6. Good racing between these two guys. Good racing. Fast back up to 6th. XFG down in 7th now. We're back with Ascona, already having stopped twice in this race, and have fighting off Zeugnismod. I know, is he German? Might have heard I'm German. It would be Zeugnismod. That would be a bit much. Back with RJ. After the pit stop of, who was it? I'm not sure. RJ has now Zeeves for company with the Belarusian paint scheme, it seems, in the 89 car. Let's be on the safe side. In the 89 car. And Adebayor, in fact, is out of this race. Adebayor out of this race, and that means it's good news for me, because I soon will have a co-commentator here in the commentary booth. Good news for my voice as well. Meanwhile, Icellarita still leading the way, a couple of seconds ahead of Spikey, trailed by Salin. Leibniz with a silent and calm race down in 4th, having Type for company down in position number 5, but there's a lap up in between the two. That's the lap car of Finn UK, but he has already made his pit stop. And these top 10 drivers up at the front haven't. Best of those pit stoppers is RJ at the moment, up in position number 12, still having Zeeves for company. Back out onto the main straight as we move over to Just Yeeman, who's still fighting off CI3K, and that's RJ Zeeves really reeling into RJ right now. Looking good. Looking close. Onto the main straight, the two go. As we approach the halfway point of this particular race. A race full of surprises as of now. As it's Finn UK being shown the blue flag to let past Ekmek Chibasi. Maybe Adebayor might be able to help me out with that name. Yemen, meanwhile, fighting against CI3K.
Hello everyone. Hello Tobias.
Hi. Good to have you on board for the live broadcast. How are you?
I'm feeling a little bit sad, but it's okay.
What happened to you? We saw you pitting and standing there for a really long time. What happened to your car?
Yeah, because I was involved in the little crash. Rig probably a little bit hit on my back. I was spinning on the T1, and after that I've burned a little bit clutch and managed to go into the pits, but didn't change the repairs off. And my guys in the pit started repairing my car, and it was taking too much time.
I see.
So I think it was unnecessary to drive more and don't waste the pace of the rest of the car. And yeah, I'm happy to join you and maybe to commentate some of the race, because it seems it's really nice, right?
It really is. We have a close fight up ahead. 2 seconds between Spiky and Isolaritas, challenging the Swiss driver for position number 1 as we go on board with Fast by the Born to Race team, challenging Type for position number 5. 12 points up for grabs as somebody comes out of the pits. That surely is a lapped car. That really looked wild. As we're back with Type. And now move back to Yemen.
Yeah, Kanji is our overlapped car. Fast have a really good fight with Type. But I need to say it's quite hard to the front tires, because for my example I put a little bit too low pressure on my fronts and I was overheating the front left tire, and in couple next lap I think most of the guys will start to struggle.
Does a pit stop change anything of that? Are you able to change the tires during the pit stop?
Yeah, of course you can change the tires, but it takes time. And in this type and the level of the drivers, if you spend too much time in the pits, it will be too much time loss and too much loses the position.
I see. We're back with RJ, who fought against Redbot, but Redbot seems to have pulled into the pits now. No, he hasn't. Redbot is fighting against Storm for position number 10. Around the outside, he tries to go into turn 1 with the over and under. Next opportunity is turn number 4. Storm theoretically has the upper hand, but can Redbot close the door on Storm? Yes, he can indeed. It's position number 10 for Redbot.
Yeah, marvelous save for Redbot. But I know Storm and it will not give up. So I think we'll see the much more fight with them.
Now what can you tell me about these two leaders up ahead? We have Isolaritas leading the way ahead of Spiky for the time being. I know that Isolaritas is still fighting and contesting for the lead in the Drivers' Championship. Spiky...
Yes, Isolaritas is a fine and good and nice driver. He also got good experience, also in the live racing, so he's also racing in the live. But I know Spiky too. He's much better in the rallycross. But I see now the gap is increasing, so Celeritas feels comfortable in the track. But those two, I think they will fight again.
I sure do hope so. At the moment, just about 2 seconds between these two leaders. 2.3 to be precise, and a further 3 seconds behind. I'm sorry, 8 seconds behind is Salin.
Yeah, those guys are running in the safe gaps right now, but I think it can be changed when those guys will join to the pits, and if someone will make a little mistake, it will be a huge difference with the time, and it will be change of the positions.
It sure will be. There still is plenty of space to a spanner being thrown into the works here, with the top 11 drivers not having pitted as of now. So each and every driver in the top 11 still has to make a pit stop. Same applies to Gemin in 14th and Soini in 18th. All the other drivers have already visited their pit crew.
It will be a nice battle for 6, as we can see. The Fast is trying to increase the gap between Ekmek and Sivasi, but he is a consistent driver. I think they will soon meet in one of the corners, and hope we will see a nice fight for the position 6, because those guys are closing to the outer laps.
And I'm sure lapped traffic will play into that as well. We have one of these cars playing a role already, and we have a spin and a flip, and Fast is on the side of his car, out of this race. I was just about to talk about lapped traffic, blue flagged cars, possibly trying, or not trying, but possibly getting in the way of other drivers. And as I said that, Storm, it was Storm, no, it was, who was it? Fast, it was Fast, was it? Gets flipped up into the air.
Oh my god, there is another situation. No, Iseleritas was a bit of a lag. He was disappeared, but now he's now on.
Right, so most important thing that the leader is still running. Now
Yes,
he's
but
off. Now he's off.
Oh my god!
That can't be. That can't be true. Is Celeritas really off now? He reset his Wi-Fi router earlier. I remember him saying that, having issues with his internet connection, and if it, that can't be true. Has he really just lost the race due to his internet connection?
Yes, it seems, and it's a chance for Spiky to win the race. But yeah, we all know this is a game, and we can got problems with the internet connection. Seems that Celeritas got that problem right now.
Oh, that's terrible news for the Swiss driver. Spiky taking the lead on lap number 30 of 50. 20 laps still to go, but Spiky leads the way ahead of Salin and Leibniz, with Celeritas out of this race at Blackwood. Gemin having zero.
I think Spiky, if he will not make any mistake, I think he can win this race today.
I think so. I think so too. He's shown tremendous pace in the first 3 quarters of this race. And if everything stays as normal, Spiky will be in contention for the race victory today. Salin in second, more than 6 seconds behind the leader. But it's really close all the way throughout the midfield. German having Zeus for company. They're fighting over position number 11. And here comes Zeus in the red and white and green car, moving around the inside this time and giving, German a hard time, but not for long. German losing the position. Zeus up to P11. Behind the two is...
Yeah, he went a little bit wide in that corner.
Possibly the closest battle on track right here, with the 89 car.
Yeah, on this moment, yeah, but still we got guys that need to pit.
Exactly. Born to Race reject in P10, the first driver. Or the first driver of these who have pitted. As Storm laps Finn UK. Finn running in P20 at the moment. You hear the honk of Star Alliance there. 9397 ahead of Star Alliance for the time being. But as per usual, 9397 still has to make a pit stop. Star Alliance has already been through the pit lane and will eventually get past that pink car.
You don't know if you mentioned that, but we got 15 places paid in the points. So currently Maciek is on the 15th place, and he will be the last guy who will earn the points from this race. But he got Soini not far away from him on 16, and I think he will be able to try to fight for this 1 point.
Exactly. Also, points awarded. Already 1 to Spikey for setting the pole position time. The fastest lap runner will get 1 extra point. And as I said earlier, the HC, the highest climber, also being awarded 1 extra point.
Yes, that's correct. We got 1 point for the pole position, 1 point for the fastest lap in the race, and 1 point for the highest climber. But the highest point, it will be to the guy which one qualified, because some of the guys entered the race without the qualification and it does not count.
Meanwhile, Jan D and Zeugnismod giving it their all, fighting over position number 17. All outside of the points. But still a good battle between these two. Also having to deal with being lapped. It's Presley in that white car.
I don't know what is happening to Just Iman, because I see he's standing on the left side of the track.
Yeah, I saw that too. That's Just Yemen parked at the left-hand side on the grass here. Now letting pass these two guys. That's Zeus and Jamin. But Yemen seems to have stopped. Was already running in 21st. And now running into problems. That's Spikey lapping Star Alliance here. So these two are not fighting over a position. It's Spikey leading the way ahead of Sarlin, and that's Star Alliance in between these two in the blue and white car. .1 seconds between Spikey and Sarlin. Then it's 10.5 to Leibniz.
Yeah, the gap is increasing, so I think Spiky is trying to secure his win in this race.
I agree, I think so too.
Yeah, the gap is increasing, so I think...
It's all nice and close here at Blackwood. Especially down here at Cyclist Mod, still fighting off against Jandy. But it doesn't seem like these two might be swapping positions anytime soon. 13 more laps to go here at Blackwood in the GTI Thursday.
Yeah, recently we got Glow Type has entered the pit and get back in the race in 7th position. He is before the red bot right now. And after the Rick car door, I think he will be able to close the gap, but we will.
And remember, we still have people who are yet to make their pit stop. First and foremost, the leader, Spiky. Salin also needing to make his pit stop. Now going through turns 2 and 3. This quick chicane here in his black and blue Born to Race machine. Jumping over the little crest there. All the way left through turn 4. And here we have Leibniz, another, 10 seconds maybe behind Salin. So the first 3 are separated by a decent amount of time, but they all have to make their pit stop. And as you said earlier, there's still plenty of room to make an error in the pits. Red Dot and Type, as you said, they're really close on the track right now. Lap 39 of 50, Spiky leading ahead of Salin. Type fending off Red Dot for the time being. It's the fight for position number 7 for 9 points, remember. Type in the black and green machine. Has he touched the inside wall there? It seems like it. Red Dot getting all messed up, offline, fighting with his machine through the second part of that lap. Losing heaps of time in the fight against Type. And it's all fair and square for the time being. Type in 7th, Red Dot P8, then it's Storm and Reject in 9 and 10.
Yeah, he lost some time on that entering in the grass section. But it seems that the Red Bot has got the better pace, so I think we will see soon another fight for the 7th place.
Type and Red Dot still really close. Red Dot seeming to have the upper hand in the fight between these two. Out of turn 5, onto that tarmac back straight. Now right onto the grass, back into turn 6 and back onto the dirt part. Red Dot seemingly having the pace compared to Type here. We'll stay with the battle between these two. Red Dot setting up Type nicely for a move possibly down into turn number 1. Here comes Red Dot possibly honking, moving to the inside line. Turn number 1, the best overtaking opportunity around this track here at Blackwood. Over the grass, Red Dot goes. Not the best of ways to go. Side by side, 2-2, 3-2, side by side, 2-3. My God, these TH sounds are really killing me.
It's really good fight, so it's okay with emotion. But it seems that Type got the inner side. Red Bot will have the inner side when entering to the tarmac section, but Type is not. It's not
amused. He's not amused and seems to have lost the position, but only for the time being. We're into the final 9 laps of this race here at Blackwood, and Red Dot has moved ahead of Type. I need to practice that. through turn 3. My god. Right. Next occasion I'll make
Yes,
it.
that was nice, but I see the type is a little bit jumping on that section in the grass. I think there is possibility to his damage of the rear springs.
Oh, that might be because it's really stressful for such a car to be jumping all the way. Remember, it's only a small car. Red Dot getting offline there. Red Dot losing out massively through turn number 1. Here comes Type through turn 3. Now this occasion I get it right. Into turn number 4. Who's got the upper hand? It's Red Dot leading Type for the time being. Keeping it nice and tidy there. As Spiky finishes lap number 42. Up ahead. 6.5 seconds ahead of Salin. And it's Type behind Red Dot. Bot, not Dot.
Yes, definitely Type has some problems with his suspension. That's why he will be losing by now the gap to the Red Bot. Red Bot is completely fine, as we can see from his car. And yes, he will probably secure the 7th spot for Red Bot. But yes, we have another guy in the pit, and it's Rick. He is back on the 8th place just before the Type. As we can see, the Type probably has the problems with the suspension, so Rick probably will be able to attack the 7th place, right? There are the 7 laps to go.
Good spot.
And let's see what Rick will show us.
It's Ricardo chasing Type through the middle part of that lap. Down the inside we go. Setting him up nicely, but I think he will keep his car behind Type for the time being. We will see Type now jumping over these jumps and crests. You said the springs of his suspension not working properly. See him jumping left, right and center, losing control over his black and green car, and Carlos all over Type right now. Through the final few corners, exiting turn 9, up the hill through 10 and 11, finishing lap number, what is it, 43 it is, after 50 minutes and 33 seconds. And here comes Ricardo. Oh, that's a big one, that's a big one. Keeping us.
Yes, he tried to close the inner side and he went through. That was the nice, safe position of the Type. But let's see how these two guys will enter the tarmac side. I think Rick will try to attack the inner side.
Ricardo in a 32 machine here, and as you said, attacking the inside line here. Type trying to defend with all he's got. But Carlos right underneath him, right up to his rear bumper. See Type jumping around once again. And it's Carlo around the outside this time, maybe through turn number 9. Round the outside, Ricardo goes. What a move from Ricardo!
My God, that was the best overtaking this race, I think.
One of the best, certainly, up into P number 7 for Ricardo in a 32 machine. That white and red and blue car moving past Type, who's dropping now. Down from P6 down to P8 now. Redbot, meanwhile, extending his lead over Cardle, but the fight between Cardle and Type is far from over. Type looking to fight back into turn number 4, possibly sending his car down the inside, but Cardle seems to have the upper hand for the time being. Lap number 45 completed. 5 more laps to go in this race.
And we have our leader in the pits. So now Sarlin is in the lead in the lap 46. Spikey is returning to the track safely on the 2nd position, but just front of him there's a traffic.
Yeah, but crucially not behind him, and I think all these guys in the traffic have already stopped. So Spike.
Yes, but look the battle of the 3rd place. Ekmeksibasi is right over the leg, and there's a contact.
There's
But
contact made between
went
these two.
slow.
When did Ekmeksibasi come so close to Lightnix? I have no idea. Sending one down the inside as Ekmeksibasi now coming all the way down to turn number 6 on the tarmac section. Lightnix taking a bit more of a dynamic through turn number 6, but Ekmeksibasi moves ahead and moves up into P number 3. Lightnix touching the wall, jumping over the crests. Salin still not pitting, Spiky having to deal with lap traffic, and Ekmeksibasi taking the position off of Lightnix. Good move. Really, really good move for P number 3. We hear the honking.
Yeah, and if he will not do any mistake, probably he will secure the 3rd place, but in the racing everything can happen, so let's see what it will be.
Leipzig's really losing time to Ekmeksibasi. He will now have to pay attention that he doesn't fall into the clutches of Presley behind him. The Russian is still looking feisty, looking to find a way to get up into P number 4. Meanwhile, Salin jumping through the final sector of the lap, and I have the feeling that he might be pitting soon. 4 more laps to go. Salin still has to move his car into the pit lane, which he doesn't do on this particular occasion. Spiky in 2nd, Ekmeksibasi in 3rd, Leibniz flying in his car through the final couple of corners, losing control over his black and red and yellow car, and Presley is all oh, he isn't. Presley isn't, because Presley is rolling. Presley is losing time in his white machine. What's happened to Presley? Stopping his car in the runoff section there. Oh dear, oh dear.
And he just stopped, probably damaged too much his car. No, he's saying he's out of the fuel. It's 3 laps to go and he's out of the fuel.
He's out of fuel, you say? That can't be. Oh God. Presley!
Yeah.
Out of fuel.
Yes, he can be.
Oh, goodness me. Dropping like a fly. From running well in 4th position, now out of this race is Presley.
Let's head back to our leader. He is currently entering the finish line, but he's still not entering the pit. Spike is in the 2nd place.
2 more laps to go for
the
Salin.
gap is not too far.
Spikey really isn't far off of Salin. And Ekmeksibasi also having to make a pit stop. We totally forgot about that one. Leibniz, meanwhile, losing heaps of time. Ekmeksibasi will not finish in 3rd, that's for certain. But he will secure a decent result in the end. Redbot also still having to pit. And as you said, Ricardo, he left the pits earlier.
Yeah, and this is the last lap you can pit, because you can't pit in the last lap. You will be not classified in the race. So I think on this lap, on the last lap, we will have some action.
We sure will have. We will follow Salin through the 2nd sector of this circuit here in Blackwood. And Salin will have to pit this time out. Let's see if he does so. Slowing down his blue and black car, entering the pit lane. Onto the brakes he goes. Coming into the pits. Let's keep an eye on Spiky, who crosses the finish line now. Stunning laps.
Yes, he's starting this last lap on this race.
Now
also Ekmeksibasi entering the pit, so
Ekmeksibasi doing the same, and here's Leibniz. Where is Salin? He's exiting the pits now, so it's all the same. Spiky leading Salin, leading Leibniz. Will soon get past Ekmeksibasi, or is he? Or will he? Ekmeksibasi, here he comes, out of the pits, and Leibniz. Here comes Leibniz. He's behind Ekmeksibasi. Leibniz
yes, but it's
Ekmeksibasi.
Yeah, but it's too far to Ekmeksibasi to make the 3rd place, so probably if Ekmeksibasi will not have any mistake, he will secure his 3rd place.
Meanwhile,
but let's see the battle for the 6th place. It's tight. and reject. Those guys are on the last lap and
It's
and
really close all the way throughout
fighting
the field,
for the
but as
sixth.
the camera moves back to the leader, to Spike, who crosses the line this second now. Round the outside. Is he gonna make that move, Stick?
They touched!
They touched! And Type is still in front of these two. Type is leading Reject. Over the line they come, and it's P6 for Type and P7 for Reject. It's Spikey who takes glorious victory here in Blackwood. Reject in second. No, now they're all messed up. Spikey leading Salin, of course. Agmac Tsibasi in third. Leibniz fourth. And Ricardo in fifth. Then it's Type and Reject really close across the line. And Redbot in position number 8. Good race by these guys. Congratulations to our race winner, to Spikey. Jamin in 9th. Storm in P10. And the rest I couldn't see. That's your provisional result from this Thursday, round 13. Go ahead.
Yeah, the 18 guys managed to end the race. We started above the 30, so we lost so many guys in this race.
We lost half of the field. Goodness me. Dramatic scenes at the front as Spikey takes victory. Inheriting first position from Cellaritas, who had a disconnect earlier this race. Unbelievable scenes. Unbelievable.
Yes. So Spikey has the win, and he will be choosing the next track and car combo. We can only choose between XFG and XRG. He can choose only one car on the both cars and the track, and he will be picking the next 14 race Thursday Championship Fragmaster.
How many rounds are planned for this year? Tell me more about the series, maybe.
Only I can say this: we started in the last year with Fras, which is managing the Fragmasters team. We are able to start the league with. We think that the GTI series will be most popular, and we hit the 100 points with that. We got so many drivers lining up in the grid every race, every Tuesday. We are racing every Tuesday in the whole year. Of course, we will have some prizes. Can't say precisely what will be, but for sure we will be able to make some. And yes, we are allowing everyone to race. Guys just need to be online before the official qualification starts. We are running approximately 1 hour races. And yeah, we are counting for much fun and fair play.
Fair play indeed. Congratulations to all the finishers. And thank you from my side as well to all you guys in the stream. I just checked, there are 15 guys following this race. I was absolutely shocked about that one. So thank you for tuning in tonight. We might be able to get one or the other driver in front of their microphones now. I don't know if anyone is really willing to join us.
Let me ask.
I certainly would be up for an interview or two. Before we say goodbye and good night for this race here.
Cellaritas, are you here with us?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, hello.
Hey, hello.
Yeah,
How are you doing? What happened in your race? The disconnect. My God.
well, it was clear, but I'm surprised too because I haven't found any issues. It was lagging for a bit, like spike lag, but that was all.
How was the first part of your race? Let's talk about the time you have been on the track. You did extend your lead after getting past Spiky in the first couple of laps. How did you approach tonight's race?
Well, I was practicing
Extend
some
your
laps
lead
before.
after.
I was pretty
How
sure
was
that I was running up front. Even uh, I had problems during the race already. I mean, the clutch was already burning and my suspension already had some issues. I was pretty sure that I was going to extend my lead and going to win that. And then this sort of thing happened. Yeah, it was bad luck after all.
Yeah, it was terrible luck for you. Did that ever happen to you in a
But
GT race?
yeah, but at the end, it is a game, and if something like this happens, then yeah, you shouldn't be mad about it. I mean, you kind of throw your hands up in the air and scream for a bit. That's all.
Hey,
Yeah, I just wanted to. I didn't want to interrupt you, but I invited our race winner, Spiky. He is right now with us.
hey guys.
Hi Spiky, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing well. I just won, Feels great. First time.
It's your first victory. Oh, I didn't know that. Congratulations on that one. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
How was your race? You inherited, I just told to the others about that, the lead of a disconnect by Celeritas, and then you only extended your lead. How did you approach tonight's race?
Yeah, well, I was pretty confident about my hot lap pace, so I was going for a pole, obviously. I wanted to go to create a gap because I thought that others will fight for positions behind me, which also happened. But I also knew that Celeritas has a better race pace than me, so when he closed the gap on me, I just let him go because I didn't want to lose more time because I could possibly lose positions on the podium, which I didn't want to risk.
Celeritas just told us about having issues with his car and his clutch burning at some point, and having just struggling with his suspension and springs. Did you encounter any of these technical gremlins in your race?
Actually, since start, I was a bit worried about my right rear suspension because it was getting really bad. I had more than 50% damage, and we were like 20 laps in the race, so not even in half. So I was looking for different approaches in sector 2 to minimize the damage to it, which was successful. So I had no problems in the end. And regarding the clutch, I was maintaining it for the whole race, so it wasn't bad at all.
All right. Anything you want to tell the world after your first victory in the GTI Thursday series?
Yeah, I don't know what can I tell. I'm sorry for Celeritas that he had the connection problems because he was obviously going for the win. But otherwise, I'm obviously very happy about the pole and the race win. And I don't think I think I also have a fastest lap. So if it's so, it's amazing, and I'm just happy.
I can imagine. Thank you really much for joining us, Spiky, and congratulations once again on your first race victory.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I have to say we can invite here our second finalist, so Sarlin, who is ended in the second place. Wait a minute, I will ask him if he is able to join us.
Bring him in before we say goodnight for real now. Let's hear from our second place
Good night, guys.
Sarlin. Hey Sarlin, how are you doing?
Hey, I'm great. What about you?
Oh, I'm doing terrific, thank you very much indeed. How was your race? Tell me about it.
I thought I'm faster in the race, but yeah, not enough luck for me today.
How you reacted to the Isoleritas disconnection problem and you switched the position? You knew that you will be able to end the race in the
Yeah, it was that moment. My connection started to do something also. I mean the ping actually.
So you was worried to your connection too?
Yeah.
Were you worried about your car? We just talked with both of our previous interviewees about their suspensions and springs and clutches and everything going up in flames and, yeah, generally just being damaged. Did you worry about technical issues with your car as well?
No, at all. I saved suspension when the race started, but that wasn't a good idea.
Right now, and after this Thursday, you surely have, yes, licked some blood for the next few rounds. What is your goal for next Thursday?
Depends what track is coming. If it's rally, I want to be in top 5, I think, with extra kilos, or top 10.
All right. Thank you very, very, very much, Salin, for joining us, and thank you for a good race.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
He's so
And
Estonian.
I need to say thank you, Tobias, very, very much for commentating our first live broadcast from the race.
Oh, my pleasure.
You were just not fine, but dangerous. You were marvelous in the commentating our race. So
Thank
sadly,
you.
I was able to join you because my little crash and problems in pits, and my guys in the pits were really busy and doing the stuff too much and too hard. So I was able to join you. But yeah, it was a nice race, and I'm really looking forward to the next Tuesday.
So am I. Thank you really, really from the bottom of my heart. It was my pleasure guiding you all through tonight's race. And we might be hearing from each other soon enough. Will not be next Thursday, surely. But maybe at some point throughout 2018, I might be back behind the mic. And, well, on that note, ladies and gentlemen, thank you really, really much for tuning in tonight for the 13th round of the GTI Thursday series presented by Fragmasters here from Blackwood, England. And the winner is called... Oh god, I messed that one up. Spiky! The winner is called Spiky. Thank you really much for tuning in tonight. See you and hear you soon. Bye bye.